Being a chud, as we all know, is bad. Because reasons, but something. Being awoke is good also because reasons, but I don't know, or something. And liking beautiful women is wrong because they don't actually exist. God, I hate these people so much, it's insane. Nothing they say makes sense. None of their ideas are realistic. It's like they just want to live in the strangest form of delusion while they are themselves not happy. It is insane. Bring back insane asylums for God's sake.
Dude, how fragile do you have to be to have a mod like this?
Why do you care so much?
Based.
What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the effortlessly entertaining Dr. Disaster. And one of the best things about mods for a game is you can do your own thing for your own reasons, and you really don't have to give a shit about what.
Now, opinions like that do sound extremely racist, though you have to agree. That did sound like the most racist thing I have seen, okay? Literally hotler.
Other people think. If someone wants to judge what you're up to, the proper response is to simply say,
I don't care!
For example, there are mods out there for a Black Geralt in The Witcher 3, and if, for whatever reason, someone wants to download that and use it, that is their prerogative. I have no problem with it whatsoever. And to this day, you can still find mods for this on Nexus because it's no big deal. Nobody has a problem with it. But going the other way is seemingly disallowed. For example,
Heretics! Unholy!
there were mods for Angrboda in God of War Ragnarok where they changed the character into a white girl.
A Norse deity that's supposed to be white, and you dare to actually change her from her evoke true self? Hunted down.
And once again, I sincerely don't care at all if someone wants to do that. It is their choice, it is their game. I fail to see how someone enjoying their own game in their own way is a problem for anyone. But the perpetually offended progressives out there felt that this was a problem.
No, 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 no.
The Angrboda God of War mod did not last very long on Nexus before it was taken down because that is a garbage platform which puts progressive sensibilities ahead of doing their actual jobs. That being said, there is an alternative which has been picking up a lot of momentum lately, known as Akaya Mods. But I'm sad to say that due to a recent controversy surrounding a mod for Spider-Man 2, that site has been mass flagged by these butthurt little shitlibs, and their site has been, at least temporarily, taken down.
I'm so sick of these people. You know, oh!
As you can see,
Another fake one, it seems like?
here, there were a series of mods that have been going around on social media being supported by Akaya Mods for Spider-Man 2.
Bro, how do you make something just so bad in the first place? Jesus.
It was declared that these mods eliminated all of the wokeness from that game, and the usual suspects were really pissy about it, going into meltdowns over these mods existing. This really says an awful lot about their mentality. If I mod a game, then it doesn't affect them. They don't have to play it that way, they can play it as it was originally intended, but they simply want control over what people are seeing and what they are allowed to think. But the funny thing is that the harder they try to control people's thoughts, it generally turns out that they are driving people away from their line of thinking. It generally always backfires on the censors.
The more you tighten your grip, the more star systems will slip through your fingers.
You know what's my favorite part about that, actually? It's pretty funny because it's the fact that they previously had such a stronger grip until, like a year or two ago, roughly, when wokeness started just to be throwing out in the garbage by the average person because finally finally the normal person understood, wait a minute, this is stupid. Because the average normie is never gonna support wokeness, okay? they may feign like, oh yeah, obviously I support you or something like that because they don't care, but they will never truly support it. And well, they started going up against it. And the best part about this is the fact that the people who were woke and were pushing woke changed nothing. They literally changed nothing about the way that they act, the way that they do things, the way that they think. Like, you know what's a trending a woke post on Twitter nowadays, except like Trump bad stuff? The trending woke post about actual woke topics on Twitter is roughly like 20k views at this point. That is the typical trending of woke post on Twitter. You need to understand how absolutely diabolically non-existent that audience is. And they are still actively trying to do, well, the same shit that they have done constantly. This kind of goes back to Far Cry, was it 3? The definition of madness? Well, everyone knows they're insane, but this is like, this, it really makes you think, are these people like truly insane? Do you think they actually, because you never understand with these woke people, right? Most of them don't even understand what wokeness is. They can't define it. They're like, aha, a woman in gaming, that's woke. Even though no one just considers a woman in gaming woke. You see so many times that, like, half of them, I don't think even half of them, honestly, are feigning to be stupid. They just don't know what they are doing and what they are talking about. There's some of them, obviously, who do actually lie about not understanding what woke is or misunderstanding what you mean when you say it. But most of them, I think, really are just too stupid to understand the problems with it. It is really insane.
Anyhow, let's take a look at the reaction to these Spider-Man 2 mods that were heavily circulating on social media over this past weekend. This post here is where the controversy sprang from. This person on X wrote, "The work that the modders have done on the PC version of Spider-Man 2 is tremendous. They've eliminated all the wokeism from the game. And if you look at the images that they provided there, you can see that the first two characters were altered quite extensively. Mary Jane, in particular, looks a hell of a lot better.
That's not even altering. This is the thing. This is what probably was easier to make in the first place. You need to understand, to make characters this ugly, you need to really extensively try. It is actually hard to make exactly this kind of unappealing aesthetics. This was probably 100 times easier to make than their counterparts.
Hell of a lot better. There was a huge controversy, as I'm sure most of you remember, because this is what Mary Jane used to look like in the original Spider-Man game. She looked like the bombshell that she is supposed to be, that everyone knows her as. And if you look at what they did with her in the second game, it is one hell of a downgrade, especially when you consider that the image on the left here...
Okay, boys, serious question. Leave in the comments down below. Her or me? If you had to choose, which is less gay? Me? Or whatever the hell this is supposed to be? Kind of a tough choice, honestly, is it not?
The actual model that they used for the game. You have to ask yourself, why in the hell would Mary Jane end up looking like the image on the right in the actual game? And then it came out that this is one of the developers for the game. It appeared as though...
And needless... he actually showed it. I was going to say, because it's a self-insert. I'm not in front, right? You can see it. I mean, you don't need to think too hard to figure out, oh, wait a minute, that's a self-insert, but even worse. I mean, even better, YouTube, that was a joke, supportive.
So this person did a self-insert in the place of Mary Jane, and the result was absolutely reviled by gamers. But anyhow, Getting back to this tweet here, at the bottom, you can see that they also modded out gay couples in the game as well, and replaced them with straight couples. I imagine that the modders have also eliminated the rainbow pride flags as well, because the game infamously had a bunch of that stuff all over the city in that game. But if you look at the bottom of this tweet, you can see that it hit 10 million views, because this really struck a chord with people, and there were a ton.
Dude, I saw that tweet before it got so many views. I saw it at the start.
Truly butthurt shitlibs out there who could not stand that these mods exist. This reply here, as an example, tried shaming people using that line that they like to throw out there where they claim that all the people being changed in the mod are just normal people, so you should feel bad for wanting to alter them. This person wrote,
Ha ha ha. Damn, people get pissed off about seeing real people in a video game.
and then this person basically had the same message. They said,
less woke, now it's less realistic. Those things they removed are more realistic than what they replaced them with.
first of all, take a look at this model that played Mary Jane in this game once again.
Wait, you know what's my favorite part about these woke, stupid companies and the way they do things? They literally spend money to get some kind of girl that's like a model actress or whatever to, you know, do the facial structure and all of that stuff, right? They spend time, money, effort to find someone who actually typically fits that thing that people want to see. Then they do all of the work, and then they change it into this. It is so hilarious. Like, why even get a model in the first place if you're gonna change it that much? Like, what is the point?
Exists. She is real. A lot of these nasty feminists don't like what they see in the mirror, and they justify
That's because they're fat.
their own ugliness by saying that anyone who looks like this is unrealistic. They did the same thing quite a bit with the conversation surrounding Stellar Blade last year, whose protagonist was also based on scans of a real person. Yep. But then this person here responded to this ex-post, pulling at the heartstrings, writing,
as a minority, you feel underrepresented in media your whole life. Then, when there starts to be just an inkling of representation outside of the majority, here comes a movement complaining about it and crying it's reverse discrimination, yet expects to not be called bigots?
An inkling? An inkling of representation? Are these people retarded or just willingly naive? Games these days are absolutely chock full of minority characters to the point that they are replacing beloved original white characters all the time. Angrabata is a prime example. Norse people are white, and making her black was pandering to people like this, and it has been done constantly in recent years across the entertainment spectrum to the point that there is a massive fatigue among gamers and just people in general, because as I said, it isn't just video games, this happens across all of entertainment. But anyhow, these people apparently got real pissy pants about this, to the point that they went after Akaya Mods, which is an excellent alternative to Nexus. Or at least that appears to be the case, because this controversy coincides, timing-wise, with this post that just came from Akaya Mods themselves. They wrote here, I can't believe that someone has falsely mass-reported our site as malicious or spam. We have contacted all relevant security companies to remove false flags, which will take a few days to a week. We will not give up, and we will fight back against the haters who mass-reported our site. Thank you to everyone who reported the temporary...
This is probably some insane single individual who's probably gonna get arrested. Dude, television should... Well, not... honestly, anyone. Television, Twitter, pick one. Doesn't matter which. Should probably follow up on these stories. The person doing the mass reporting is probably one person. And they're probably getting arrested. no one covers this. Everyone covers the thing happening, but usually the people doing this get fucked in the end. Okay, their whatever is not long lived. They typically get arrested in a lot of these cases.
Access issue caused by the redirect, which has now been fixed. Yeah, it looks as though their site has been down ever since this happened, but they are in the process of getting it returned to normal. But the thing is, I want everyone out there to remember this, because this right here is the sort of tactic employed by these progressives, and it has been done by them for years.
Yep. And every time they have lost or gotten absolutely destroyed, it is what it is. Anyway, that was Dr. Disaster 10 out of 10. Bye!